I am a cognitive psychologist. That means that my area of interest is in how do people learn new things? How do people put that learning to use? How do people communicate? So, all of this, how does the mind work? That's my area of expertise. I did my degree and my postgraduate in psychology, and I have a PhD from IIT Bombay. Since then, I taught about 10 years in XLRI Jamshedpur, where I taught MBA students. I was also the head of the organizational behavior there. I've also taught at IITs, so that's engineers who are in the degree level. I've taught at IIMs, I've taught at places within India and places abroad. But the thing that really struck me is that by the time a student comes to college, his mind is already set. He is already set in his ways. How much can you do with that person? How much can that person learn? So I think it's very important that we start thinking about our children early on. And a big role is that of the parents. The parents actually have a big impact on how the child's minds are shaped. So, what are we doing? How are we preparing our children for this confusing world that is there in the 21st century? All we have to do is take a look at the reels that come to us or look at the Instagram posts to see how this world is so different, right? So many things. People talk about artificial intelligence, how that's changing. People talk about biotechnology, how that's changing. So many things are changing. In fact, the world that we lived in was a nice, predictable world. The world of the 21st century is no longer predictable. How can we, as parents, equip our children to manage this complex world? That is a question that I'm putting to you today. And I would invite you to come and join me for an evening to discuss this future, the world that's coming, the world ahead for our children, and our role in equipping our children to meet that world. Remember, the world that we grew up in is not the world that they are going into. So I think it's a very good investment. Perhaps the best investment you can do for your children is not a lot of money that you can pass on to them, but this idea of how we can equip them to manage the future. Join me for an evening and let's talk about it.